In the early 1990s, while mainstream hip-hop dominated the airwaves and jazz seemed confined to smoky clubs and distant memories, one artist stepped forward to fuse the past and future. His name was Guru, and with Jazzmatazz, he didn't just make music, he created a cultural bridge. This is the story of jazz fusion reborn, where bebop met boom bap, and the smooth pulse of a saxophone slid effortlessly over breakbeats. This is Jazzmatazz, and the legacy of a visionary who connected generations, genres, and cultures through sound. Jazz fusion isn't new. It was born in the 1970s, a reaction to the walls jazz had built around itself. Pioneers like Miles Davis shattered boundaries with albums like Bitches Brew, mixing rock, funk, and experimental textures into the jazz idiom. Herbie Hancock took it even further with Headhunters, blending deep grooves, synthesizers, and danceable rhythms into jazz. By the 1980s, fusion evolved into smooth jazz, jazz rock, and acid jazz. Each subgenre stretched jazz's reach, pulling from soul, funk, and later electronic music. But something was still missing, a voice that connected the streets to the roots. Enter hip-hop, a cultural force born in the Bronx, rooted in rhythm, rhyme, and storytelling. DJs and producers began sampling jazz records, from Art Blakey to Wes Montgomery, looping their breakbeats, spinning them into something new. This wasn't just borrowing, it was building. Jazz fusion's evolution became a natural extension of both East Coast jazz's intense, urban energy and West Coast jazz's smooth, cool precision. Guru's Jazzmatazz would become a true hybrid of both. Born Keith Elam in Boston, Massachusetts in 1961, Guru, short for Gifted Unlimited Rhymes Universal, was the son of a judge and a librarian, raised with intellect, discipline, and culture. He came up through the East Coast hip-hop scene with a commanding voice and sharp mind. His lyrics were introspective, socially conscious, and grounded in the everyday experience of Black life in America. He co-founded Gang Starr, a group that merged boom-bap beats with jazz samples, thanks to DJ Premier's genius on the boards. Together, they laid the groundwork for what jazz-influenced hip-hop could be. But even within Gang Starr's success, Guru dreamed bigger. He didn't want to just sample jazz. He wanted to collaborate with it. Live horns, real bass lines, and voices from the world of jazz itself merged with hip-hop's street sensibility. And in 1993, he made it happen. He called it Jazzmatazz. Guru's Jazzmatazz Volume 1 was nothing short of revolutionary. Released in 1993, it was billed as an experimental fusion of hip-hop and live jazz, and it delivered on that promise. The album featured legendary musicians like Donald Byrd, the trumpet titan of Blue Note Records, Roy Ayers, master of the vibraphone and a staple of 70s jazz funk, and Branford Marsalis, a saxophonist known for bridging classical, jazz, and pop worlds. From Loungin' to No Time to Play, each track blended warm, melodic instrumentation with hard-hitting beats and lyrical precision. These weren't just studio features. They were real-time conversations between generations of Black music. Guru had built a new genre. This wasn't just fusion. This was Jazzmatazz, a sound and philosophy rooted in mutual respect and creative synergy. Following the success of Volume 1, Guru released Jazzmatazz Volume 2, The New Reality, in 1995. This time, the vision expanded, geographically and sonically. He brought in artists like Freddie Hubbard, a hard bop veteran whose trumpet lines carried decades of jazz history, and Jamiroquai, representing the acid jazz wave from the UK. Guru blended hip-hop, jazz, R&B, and global influences, incorporating everything from Afrobeat to European soul. By Volume 3 Street Soul in 2000, the sound shifted further into neo-soul and conscious rap, featuring Erykah Badu, Angie Stone, The Roots, and Craig David. These records captured the spirit of a global, evolving Black musical identity, and the line between rapper and jazz musician blurred further. You could hear echoes of Miles Davis's social defiance, Monk's unpredictability, and Blakey's thunderous pulse inside these beats. Jazzmatazz wasn't just a novelty, it was a cultural corrective. At a time when jazz was seen as old heads music and hip-hop was dismissed by critics as noise, Guru proved both could not only coexist, they could amplify each other. He gave jazz musicians new relevance. He gave hip-hop depth and melody, and he gave audiences a new listening experience. He transformed the sample-based foundations of groups like A Tribe Called Quest and Diggable Planets into a live, breathing art form. He wasn't alone. Musicians like Miles Davis had already ventured into hip-hop, working with Easy Mo Bee on doo-bop, and Herbie Hancock had long embraced fusion, even collaborating with rappers in the late 90s. But Guru made jazz fusion a mainstream conversation again. He brought it to MTV, to clubs, to record stores worldwide. He made it cool to care about chords. Guru's vision laid the blueprint for a generation. You hear it in the lush soundscapes of Robert Glasper, who fuses jazz, hip-hop, and soul with effortless elegance. In Terrace Martin's saxophone-driven beats on Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, in Anderson Paak's groove and Thundercat's genre-defying bass lines. Even YouTube's ubiquitous lo-fi hip-hop channels trace their DNA to Jazzmatazz, with soft jazz chords, subtle beats, and looped instrumental textures designed for deep listening. Guru gave the next wave permission to experiment, collaborate, and reimagine. His legacy lives in every jam session between a DJ and a saxophonist, every band that blends vinyl scratching with upright bass. Guru passed away in 2010, leaving behind not just a discography, but a philosophy. He believed music was a conversation, a place where styles, generations, and cultures could meet and learn from one another. In his honor, jazz and hip-hop communities alike continue to evolve and fuse. From NPR Tiny Desk concerts to live band ciphers, the lines are more blurred than ever. Guru didn't chase charts, he chased meaning. And in doing so, he created a body of work that outlived trends. His Jazzmatazz series is not just music to be heard, it's a movement to be studied. Jazz isn't just a genre, and hip-hop isn't just a sound. They are both languages of freedom, improvisation, resistance, and beauty. In Jazzmatazz, Guru gave those languages a shared dialect. He reminded us that music isn't about categories, it's about connection. So the next time you hear a trumpet echo over a boom-bap beat, or a rhyme flow between saxophone notes, remember Guru, remember Jazzmatazz, and remember that real fusion is about more than sound. It's about soul.